part 2 of how to deal with Italy. And we are going to be talking today about what are the things that you will have to deal with. If my last video didn't make you question whether or not moving to Italy was the right thing, or if you're crazy for having these ideas, or that, oh my God, what's ahead of you? This one probably will. Let's go over some of the things, some specific examples of what you will run into when moving to Italy. Number 1, you will need about a year for your paperwork. If you're a European citizen, I wish I could say that that would be a lower thing. For sure, probably a good 6 months is what you'll need to get everything settled. Here are some things to expect from bureaucracy. The commune appointments. So to get your residency, you need to wait at least 2 months. The residency appointments are normally about 2 months out, which means you have to actually be in your apartment on the day that they show up to check for you before you can get residency. Residency is a very specific document that you cannot do a lot of things without, including opening a bank account, which is super useful. So you need your residency to do everything. This point here gets very frustrating for a lot of people because they want to do things and they have to wait for these appointments that are long out. On the subject of residency, there is always a problem with the paperwork. Again, I wish I could say this was only for certain people. Everybody, there's a problem with the paperwork. Whether it's your names don't match, some child needs a different type of document that is a different type of form. This is the same thing that the form that you're presenting has on it, but that doesn't matter because it's not the right form. So you have to go and get the new form that they want because that's what they need. So there is always a problem with the paperwork. You will have to go back to the comune at least 2, if not 4 times. I think I was here for a year. It was endless residency demands. Always a problem with the paperwork. When you are renting, the application for renting, so let's go over here, we have our renting subject. The proposta normally takes about 1 week at least. And if you put money down and you don't respect that wait time, they can keep that money. So when you go, okay, I want to rent an apartment. I like this. Here's my, my security payment here. I want to do this contract. Normally you have to wait a week. So if you come to Bergamo with a time limit that's very stretched, you either have to take what's first available and just run with it, or you need to definitely have a plan B as to what you're going to do if you run out of time. Because unfortunately these times are long and there's not much I can do about it, or really anybody can. Okay. Oh, and other things you're going to have to deal with. So let's go back to my favorite subject of medical. Again, this happened to me this morning. There are just no appointments. They just don't exist. This morning I was calling to make an appointment for my son. I call. I have to say the codice fiscale, which already there is like a 20 different letters, which is also very frustrating. That can go into the category as well, so I call. This is the impegnativo. I need to make this appointment. At the end, the next appointment is September 2026. So that's in 1 year from now, I can get the appointment that I need, which is an eye test that I actually need now, but I'm supposed to wait until the 2026 before the system will give the eye test. And this is very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. Again, this list I've made just this week. These are literally everything I've dealt with this week. Going back to the codice fiscale on the phone. If you have to get an IBAN, there are like 17 different zeros in a row. And I don't know if you've ever had to count zeros, but when they're like this, the frustration is very, very high. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had to sit there with my husband 3 times. It took us to put the IBAN into the thing to make a payment. If you're doing your permesso di soggiorno, So that's our permesso route. Your appointment will be 8 months out. You need to have time, and you need to be prepared for the fact that you will need 8 months of waiting and travel restrictions, visa implications. If you're coming into Bergamo and you intend to leave and then come back, you need to make sure you have a valid visa that's going to cover that, because that permesso appointment is going to be 8 months out. Then you have, if your documents don't match, which I've covered on the driving license one as well, you have to get new documents. So it's not like somebody's like, oh, that's fine, it's okay, we're going to deal with it. No, you have to go back to where you got the document in the first place and get a new one. It's not easy. Nobody will answer the phone. Stop. There is no way to get a quick answer to a question. Again, these are everything I've dealt with this week. You will not be able to drive if you're American or if you're Australian. Some other people have that as well. Grocery shopping can be stressful. Trying to check out, your card doesn't work. Nobody really wants to do anything. There's all these things buzzing. You can't just walk in and walk out of the grocery store. There's like cancellos. So it's very controlled. The green number of recordings, they love to speak very quickly. They don't make any sense. You have to study what they're saying. Then you press the wrong button, or you press any button, and they love to just hang up on you. And my favorite, electrical plugs. Have you ever tried to plug anything in Italy? You need many different electrical plugs. I have to go around and find different type of electrical plugs, and then they need little sockets to go into here and to go into there. There's probably about, I think, 3 different types of plugs. So you have to now understand what plugs you have, what uses that type of plug, where do you have the plugs, and you have to go to the store to get all of these plugs. Then you have to store all of these plugs in your house so that when you need that plug, you know where it is. Okay. I know this is a lot, and I know there's a lot of Facebook groups that love to have these big chats about why everybody goes crazy, and then the comments are normally, well, if you don't like it here, then you should go home, and la 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 la. I only say all of these things because I need, when people are coming to relocate to Italy, especially my clients, I need you to have the right expectation of what is ahead of you. It's full of frustration on silly things, but like I said, there is a lot of good in Italy, and you cannot accept just the good without some nuances as well. The most important thing, though, if you are planning to relocate, is you need to understand your timing, you need to understand your visas, and you need to understand that the process is not quick. It will take a lot of time. So please, you need to have some backup plans ready. You need to have plan Bs. If you're renting an Airbnb, make sure you know where you're going to go if you run out of time. All of these things probably sound silly to mention, but it is very, very important. So my next video, part 3 of the subject of how to deal with Italy, we are going to be talking about a 5-step routine that I have kind of mastered over the last 12 years that I'll share with you, of some advice of places you can go for help and ways to get through these frustrating nuances, because it might feel like it's just you, but a lot of Italians actually struggle with the same thing, especially making appointments for medical doctors and things like that. So it's not just you. I want to be very clear about this. These are normal things that everybody goes through. If you're not prepared is when it gets overwhelming. Okay, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please feel free to comment. We can have a new discussion. Share with me all of if I've missed something on the list. This is just the last few days of me thinking in my head, what are all the different nuances? Thank you. Have a lovely day.